There is a moment in the Return of the King that changes the fate of all Middle-earth. It happens far away from the battlefield, with no armies, no kings, and no great speeches. Just two orcs fighting over stolen gear. One of them is named Shagrat, the other, Gorbag. And because of what they do that day, Sauron loses everything. Most fans remember the ending of The Lord of the Rings the same way. Frodo reaches Mount Doom, struggles with the ring, and fails to throw it in. Gollum attacks him, bites off his finger, and falls into the fire with the ring. It is dramatic, tragic, and perfect. But none of it could have happened without those two orcs. Their petty, brutal fight gave Gollum the opening he needed to follow Frodo to the end. Without that moment, Gollum might not have arrived in time. And if he had not, Frodo would have kept the ring, and Sauron would have won. This is the story of how one orc changed everything. In the books, after Shelob stabs Frodo and paralyzes him, Sam believes he is dead. In a desperate move, Sam takes the ring to carry the mission forward alone. He fights off Shelob, drives her away, and makes his way into the Tower of Cirith Ungol. This is where the turning point begins. Inside the tower, two bands of orcs are already on edge. One is from Minas Morgul, led by the orc captain Gorbag. The other is commanded by orc called Shagrat. When they find Frodo's unconscious body, they believe he might be carrying something valuable. They argue over what to do with him and what loot he might have on him, and things escalate fast. Tolkien describes the orcs as greedy, brutal, and constantly suspicious of one another. The ring is not on Frodo. Sam has it, but the orcs do not know that. They see his elven cloak, his mithril shirt, and his sword sting. Shagrat insists that these items be sent to his place. Gorbag disagrees. They fight, and within hours, the whole tower descends into chaos. The orcs turn on each other. A bloodbath follows. By the time Sam reaches Frodo, nearly every orc in the tower is dead. So, where is Gollum during all of this? Earlier, Gollum had guided Frodo and Sam into Shelob's lair. He betrayed them. He wanted the ring for himself. After Shelob attacked Frodo, Gollum stayed in the shadows, watching, but he did not leave. When the orcs found Frodo and dragged him into the tower, Gollum slipped into hiding again. Sam did not see him. The orcs did not notice him, but he lingered, waiting for his next chance. And here is the key detail. The fight between Shagrat and Gorbag causes complete disorder in Cirith Ungol. With orcs killing each other, Gollum is able to sneak past them unnoticed. If the tower had stayed secure under orc control, Gollum likely would not have made it out. He was cornered in enemy territory, and Gollum is not a warrior. He survives only in shadows and silence. Thanks to the orc bloodshed, Gollum escapes the tower. He picks up Frodo's trail again, and he follows Frodo and Sam across the plateau of Gorgoroth, all the way to Mount Doom. Now imagine if Shagrat and Gorbag had not fought. Suppose they worked together, brought Frodo and his items back, and locked down the tower. Frodo is kept as a prisoner. The mithril shirt and elven gear are delivered to Sauron. Sam never reaches him. Gollum never escapes. The ring stays with Sam, but Sam does not claim the ring. He intends to give it back to Frodo. Eventually, the ring would have been taken from him by servants of Sauron, or Sam would have died in the attempt to go alone. The quest would have failed. Or suppose Sam still rescues Frodo, but the tower is secured and Gollum is either caught or killed. They still make the journey to Mount Doom, but Gollum is not there for the final moment. That matters more than most realize, because at the end, Frodo cannot destroy the ring. He gives in. He claims it. In the Samuth Nor, Frodo puts the ring on his finger. He says the ring is his, and he vanishes. Without Gollum to fight him, to bite off his finger, and to fall into the fire, the ring is not destroyed. Frodo keeps it, and when Sauron feels the ring is claimed, he sends the Nazgul flying toward Mount Doom. They would have arrived in minutes. Frodo would have been found, and Middle-earth would have fallen. You might be wondering why Tolkien wrote it this way. This is not just a plot twist. Tolkien believed that great power is often undone by small, overlooked moments. He called it eucatastrophe, a sudden turn, a miracle of grace coming out of nowhere. Shagrat and Gorbag do not know they are altering the fate of the world. They are just being orcs, violent, selfish, and stupid. But that is exactly why it works. Tolkien often shows that evil turns on itself. Orcs cannot cooperate. They betray and destroy each other. Their evil creates opportunities for good to survive. That moment in Cirith Ungol is the best example. Two orcs, fighting over loot, spark a chain of events that lead to Sauron's downfall. You might be wondering what happened to the two orcs after this. Shagrat survives the fight. He flees with Frodo's gear. There, the items are brought to none other than Sauron himself. This confirms that a halfling had the mithril coat and elven blade. Sauron becomes afraid. He realizes too late that the ring is not in his hands and that a hobbit has gotten far too close. Gorbeg dies in the tower. Sam fights him briefly and hears the orcs speaking of betrayal and murder. In the end, the only survivor is Shagrat. But by then, the damage is done. Sauron has misjudged his enemies. The ring is slipping away. The War of the Ring was won not just by kings and captains. It was won in hidden places, in tunnels and towers, and in one violent moment between two squabbling orcs. So the next time you watch The Return of the King, or read The Lord of the Rings, remember this: Gollum falling into the fire was not fate alone. It was the result of 1,000 small steps, and one of the biggest was a pointless, bloody fight over some loot in a ruined tower. That is how one orc changed everything, and saved the world without even knowing it.